As I have said before, these people mixes truth with lies so that they can confuse people, which is what we call gaslighting. So listen closely to what this reader says. She claims that someone was denying the lies that they spread about you. Lies that have already been exposed and debunked. Like when they were calling you a pillhead, when in reality they were the ones doing those things. So she mentioned energy weapons and government-style targeting, showing just how far the smear went. Your name was dragged for years and your bloodline was disrespected. They tried to destroy who you are at your core. So she basically confirmed that people have been tarnishing your reputation, lying about you over and over, while pretending that they did nothing wrong and that they were waiting patiently to watch you fall. But what they didn't expect was your resilience. They didn't expect you to confront their lies and speak your truth. They really wanted you broken, shattered, or even driven to madness. They watch you closely and constantly, hoping for a collapse when all you ever really wanted was peace. Instead, they attempted to steal your narrative, rewrite your experiences, trying to make themselves look better, look good through their stories. So the plotting never stopped and the scheming never stopped. This reader said that there's nothing fake about you. And that is exactly why they try so hard to label you as the pony or the fraudulent one. Because you are the real deal. You stayed committed, you didn't back down, even while these evil people kept attacking you. They wanted others to see you as unforgivably flawed or awful, when in reality, they are the ones that are unforgivably evil with criminal tendencies. They obsess over your life and then projected that obsession onto you, accusing you of the very things that they were doing. The enemy always comes disguised as love. And they wanted you to keep on chasing on love because that's how they get in. But the truth is that that's how they are targeting you, and that they're targeting you for money, access, and opportunity. You survived things that would have destroyed most people. And these people have severe control issues. Controlling the narrative. Some even told others that you were the one doing malicious things when those same things were being done to you. It took an entire group and practically an army to try to bring you down. The reader also said that these people were trying to destiny swap with you. And there was a King of Swords figure who lied about you, trying to interfere with a divine connection. And now these individuals are now overwhelmed because nothing they did was able to defeat you. She mentioned celebrities being involved, and now some of them wants to jump ship because the truth is coming out. Some people knew you were chosen, but they didn't want anyone else to know, so they tried to sacrifice you to keep their secrets hidden. Now, somebody is crying crocodile tears because they couldn't get away with what they did to you. And these liars, these illusionists were all paid and paid the price for coming against you. They don't want to be exposed, which is why they're doing reversals, flipping narratives, speaking negativity over your name. And that they even lied to the justice system, claiming that you were the thief, the criminal, the one committing the wrongdoing, when the whole time everything that they accuse you of was being done to you. These are narcissists, control freaks obsessed with making sure that no one will ever see you in a positive light. And that there was a King of Swords that was mentioned again in this reading, who said horrible things to sabotage your love life. And that they're angry now because they cannot manipulate or trick anyone anymore. Strangers were even competing with you. And again, it was all tied up to some money. So they accuse you of financial crimes and identity theft while they were the ones committing them. They forged your name and believed that they would escape consequences, but they didn't and will not. Someone even hired a private investigator only for the situation to turn around, and they ended up being investigated themselves. All this time, these people denied everything. The spying, the stalking, the lying, baiting you for reactions so that they could set you up. And one of them really thought that they could run off with your destiny, your blessings, and your identity. And then she mentioned there that may have been that there's a humiliation ritual that is happening, that is something done publicly or spiritually to try to break you. She mentioned that the people involved in the situation were doing love spells, manipulation rituals, and witchcraft. Even targeting judges, police officers, and anyone who could influence the case. And yet, they projected all of this onto you, saying that it was you doing all these dark things that they were doing. She said that the situation ties to a twin flame connection, and that these individuals are now facing real consequences. There are legal issues, financial crimes, and people turning against each other because the truth is now coming out. Now, the ones who tried to hide behind masks are now being exposed, including someone who told everyone you were the one wearing a mask, when in fact, they were the one pretending. There's a woman who lied to an entire friend group, working closely with them to maintain this false narrative. They twisted your story, erased your experiences, and treated you like you were disposable. Even trying to delete evidence to cover their tracks. Everything they wanted from you came down to control, power, and destiny theft. They wanted what you carry, your gifts, your purpose, and your path. And they tried to take it through spiritual manipulation and social deception. And shockingly, someone even went to a cult or a group of people and told them you were doing something to children, which is one of the darkest and most unforgivable accusations someone can fabricate. And there's also a couple who falsely claimed that you were having an affair, and using that lie as a part of their ongoing plot against you. Their intention was to set you up, sabotage you, and destroy your name. But now, the chaos they created is collapsing on them. They are now panicking, fighting each other, and facing the consequences of the very things they tried to blame on you. So this message comes from a Leo reading. Now imagine for a moment that everything described there is actually happening in real time. What if this reading is actually one of their truths? And that the readings that will follow will expose exactly who the real perpetrators are. Since that message talk about setups, let us break down what a setup actually looks like in a real abusive dynamics. Because these tactics aren't rare or exaggerated. They are documented psychological patterns used in narcissistic abuse, stalking, mobbing, and covert manipulation. So, what is a setup? A setup is when someone deliberately orchestrates circumstances so that one, you react in a way that makes you look like the problem. Two, you lose credibility, you feel destabilized, you get punished or judged, and you walk into situations where the outcome is already predetermined. Like situations that will put you to jail. So common setups include provoking, then to get a reaction so that you can be blamed for it. So they push your buttons until you finally react. Then they use your reaction as the evidence of being unhinged, crazy, or dangerous. Two, withholding information. So they hide key details so you walk into a trap. And then three, triangulation, which is really prominent in this demonic abusing tarot readers, wherein they involve a third party to twist the narrative. Then, coincidentally being seen doing something innocuous, which they preframe as suspicious. And creating emotional chaos, and in my case, they were trying to inflict and create emotional chaos online with their covert harassment, and in this sense, this will make me as the target appear unstable while another person plays calm. And sabotaging opportunities. So by covertly influencing others behind the scenes, hijacking people's perceptions to sabotage someone. In all of these tactics, if you were listening to my contents, these are all evidently present in this gang stalking community. These tactics are well documented in narcissistic abuse, covert psychological manipulation, workplace mobbing, stalking cases, and domestic abuse dynamics. And these are real, not imaginary. Now let us go back to the reading that she mentioned about a couple who was saying that you were having an affair, and in some narratives, interfering a connection. So let's just say that this was the truth of the lies that they were saying. Now, how are the narcissistic group and destiny theft played out in this scenario? The role of the thief is to mirror the situation, to take it as theirs. And how is this all possible? This is now orchestrated by triangulation of this narcissistic group online manipulating the narrative. So how can they set this up? The setup was done via triangulation of this narcissist. So if you see the patterns of all these readings, there is a pattern where they were triangulating this Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And that also, they were friends. As a side note to this and something to remember is that in this game of gang stalking, the target will always know that they are being targeted covertly. But this will show as paranoia to some people who doesn't understand. So, as I was being lied on as a third party or having an affair by a couple, this is the same time that I was also being triangulated by this group. The lies, the false accusations were all meant to trigger, intentional to make me react as the target. So as I speak up about the triangulation in my life with the Queen of Cups, it will make it look like I was victimizing this Queen of Cups. This example is a clear example of what we tackled about setups. This group clearly showed a clear example of triangulation in triggering to get a reaction then blame you for it. Now, I get scapegoated by someone else's crime, which is meant to destroy me. And someone else is taking over an essence that is not hers, which is the destiny theft. When in reality, these people are all working together to steal, kill, and destroy. These are demonic assassins.